You talked about urban mining, and of course, it's going to become very important because it's often said that the biggest mines for lithium in India are in people's drawers, top drawers, because they're used mobile phones that they never get rid of, or if they get rid of, they go into landfill. And then, as with everything in India, we have jugaad, and the urban mining that happens today is very unsafe. When the e-rickshaws first came to Delhi, we had street level recycling of lead acid batteries, and a lot of poison was leaching into the rivers because that's what's happening at street level. The same today is happening when people are doing urban mining of lithium batteries, because they're done on small scales, they're done with high temperatures in little sheds. In your opinion, how do we evolve this industry to become regularized, regulated, and take the mafia element out of it? Because it's not, it's not the pot of gold that's sitting from poverty that you can leach, but it's actually a regulated, regularized industry with a very determined way of how you do the urban mining. How can we do this better?
Actually, Raven, you made an important point here. Typically, if I just categorize this whole as scrap, and scrap disposal is a dirty thing in India, right? And typically you have rack pickers collecting this scrap, or there may be institutions who do this as a business, but again, it's not really considered a very premium, high-end kind of a business, right? And it has its own safety issues, it has its own landfill issues, and environmental hazards issues and things like that. Safety of individuals, safety of environment, and safety of two people. There are whole kinds of things. Now, when it comes to e-waste, it becomes even more dangerous, and becomes more important for us to deal with that. Now, when it comes to EV, then we are talking about battery, and it has two things. One is obviously disposal, which is related to the scrap part, but recovery of metal. Just imagine when we are, as of now, we know, and maybe for the next 2 years, we'll keep importing cells, right? And the government has come out with this PLI scheme on chemistry, ACC, and hopefully there should be some cell generation and cell production and battery production in real sense in India, hopefully in 3-4 years time. But till that, we are going to keep importing. So you have e-rickshaws, you have two-wheelers, you have three-wheelers, two-wheelers. December sale itself was 40,000 units in a single month, right? With the FAME scheme, PLI scheme, and everything, government is trying to push us in the right direction, rightly so. But then just imagine the kind of imports you will do because of this cell. And then if suppose we don't have safe disposal system in our country, which was the case till few years back, and some companies like Umicore or Tessem, with whom we joined hands, they were actually exporting these big batteries back to certain countries like Belgium or Singapore, where they have got a huge big infrastructure to dispose safely and do the urban mining there, right? So I think it's a double whammy. First you pay money to import, and then you pay money to export, and the metals, this lithium, nickel, copper, they don't belong to you. Doesn't make any sense. And that's why the local safe disposal system becomes very, very important. So like Atiro kind of a thing, frankly, is going to be more and more impactful and meaningful, because they will do the urban mining within our own country, and they can recover. They claim they can recover 99% of the metals through the process, and it's also a low cost solution. It's not high cost as 50 million, 100 million kind of a plant. They claim it's $2 million or $3 million kind of a plant in general. So I think important thing here is, we have taken maybe 30-40 years to come out with end of life cycle of vehicle policy, right? The scrap policy has been just made valid or applicable just a year back, I think. Yeah. For battery, we should not do that. As of now, again, right now we are trying to incentivize companies and incentivize people to go towards battery. But I think soon we should come out with battery disposable policy also. Let's not wait for another 3-4 years. Because four-wheelers volume still may be low in the next few years, but two-wheelers and e-rickshaws are already generating the waste. The battery waste, so it's better to come out with the policy, and there are provisions everywhere globally, like extended producer responsibility for battery disposal, to OEM's responsibility, to the government responsibility. So in terms of policy, I think we should definitely come out and give incentives on that too. You know, if you, as an example, battery, if you dispose it off safely, there may be some kind of schemes and incentives to encourage that kind of behavior. You know, so I'm sure. So we need to be mindful of this policy at the earliest. In my opinion, it's very, very important for the climate, for individuals, and for the safety.